So two things today, plus news of the day if you like. But the most important thing today is my favorite day of the year. Because it's the day I get to take a day off and let other people do the work. And for the first time ever, we have two mayors of the day. We had excellent applications from junior and senior high students across Calgary this year, and I was thrilled to pick two essays from two extraordinary writers who were talking about their three ideas for the future of the community. And they're doing a great job. They get to spend the day taking over my job. I get to sit back and relax. And they meet with city managers who have ideas who are working on the things that they have ideas about. And it really is a wonderful program. It's entirely coordinated by the Mayor's Youth Council, who are a great group of junior and senior high students who I rely on for advice about youth issues in the community. And Elnaz is here, Elnaz and Hypur, nice to see you from the Mayor's Youth Council. And Lisa Kidry, who's the Executive Director of Youth Central, that does so many great things for youth in our community, but also coordinates the Mayor's Youth Council. So I'm thrilled to have them here for my last Mayor of the Day in my term. And of course, Nancy Close from my office has been the hero who makes all of this stuff work. So enough about that, let me introduce you to these great people. So first we have Kennedy Berger. Kennedy is a grade 9 student at William Pratt Junior High School in Northwest Calgary. And she is, as you can tell, an extremely accomplished dancer. And so one of her ideas is really around the arts and creating showcases for the arts, and using that as an opportunity to work on our downtown strategy of filling vacant storefronts with arts hubs and other great ideas. I'm going to give her a chance in just a moment to tell you about all three of her ideas, but I'll tell you that's the one that struck me, and also the fact that she quoted Mr. Rogers extensively in her essay. And this is Tanisha Dosani. Tanisha is a grade 10 student at Diefenbaker, and her ideas, the first two are around belonging and equity. The first one is around street harassment and the very serious problem that we have, particularly for young women in our community. The second is around more work that we can do to combat xenophobia and work towards anti-racism, especially in COVID times against Asian communities. Both women are very interested in climate change, and they're interested in what the city can do to promote a more active and walkable community. So they can explain their ideas much better than I can. So I'll step back, I'll turn it over to Kennedy, then we'll hear from Tanisha, and then we will open it up to questions. So Kennedy, please.
I'm very excited to be here, so thank you so much, Mayor Nenshi. My three ideas. My main idea is about the fine arts. As Mayor Nenshi mentioned, I've been a competitive dancer for 10 years, and I think that by creating more accessibility to the fine arts is a really great way to make Calgary more vibrant and to give aspiring artists opportunities to grow. I would like to see some of the office spaces, the vacant office spaces downtown, be a arts program that we can put in there, and not only dance studios being in there, but places that people can express art in many different forms: music, painting, taking maybe a spray painting wall so that we can take vandalism off the streets. And so that was the fine arts portion. And I also would like to see recycling become more accessible, because I just walking downtown in the core, I see just trash and recyclables on the side of the ground, and I think it's important that to make clean, that we have more recycling bins and more accessibility to recycling opportunities. Also, my next point is about homeless people, and also creating those vacant office spaces into homes that homeless people can move into and get the help that they need, and to get them off the streets, because we are all people and we all need opportunities to be safe and have a loving home. Also, it'd be a great opportunity for single moms, single dads, single parents in general to have a place where they can raise their kid in a safe environment rather than being on the street or in an abusive situation. So all around, it would just be very, very helpful, because like we said, we all deserve a warm, safe place to be in, and yeah, thank you.
Fabulous. Tanisha, why don't you tell us a little bit about your ideas?
Yeah, hi, I'm Tanisha. Thank you so
Come right
much.
in.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Tanisha. I'm so thankful for the mayor choosing me to be here. My 3 ideas were surrounding, as he mentioned, street harassment, xenophobia in Calgary, especially surrounding the COVID situation, and lastly, increasing walkability and bicycle paths in Calgary to combat the effects of climate change. So I'll start with my first point. So I decided to talk about street harassment because the first time I got catcalled, I was with my 10-year-old sister, and she obviously didn't know what was going on because she's only 10, and I found that a really bad situation to be in, especially since we were both so young. So my ideas to fix street harassment in Calgary kind of surrounded, firstly, creating a bylaw that would penalize this act is catcalling, propositioning, all of that. My second action as a mayor would be to kind of create safe zones in restaurants where if a woman felt unsafe with somebody she was with, whether it be a man or anybody else, she could go into the washroom and there would be some kind of like a fake order you could say to a server if you felt that you were being put in an unsafe situation. So like, for example, you could say like, can I order a chocolate donut? The restaurant wouldn't really have that, but it would let servers know that you're in an unsafe situation and you need to get out. And I felt that this would kind of help create a safe environment around the city so that women could feel like they were safe no matter where they went. My next point was surrounding the rise of xenophobia in Calgary after the start of the coronavirus pandemic. So, as we all know, coronavirus has obviously brought us all together, but it's also created new divisions within communities, especially with East Asian communities. So, personally, I've seen with a lot of my friends and also all over the news, East Asian communities are getting targeted because of the whereabouts of the virus, but obviously they're not responsible for that. So I believe that the first step to solving ignorance, to getting past that, is providing education to them. So as a mayor, I would hold community sessions where participants could talk with East Asian communities to kind of share experiences and get bonding between them so that we can kind of move past this ignorance and misunderstanding to build a stronger and more a community like Calgary. And lastly, my last point was to increase walkability in Calgary. My generation, we are going to be the ones most impacted by the effects of climate change, especially how rapidly it's going. Like, I think currently we're on track for 5 degrees warming, which would be catastrophic. So, as consumers, obviously, we don't have as much power as big corporations do, but we can still try and make a difference. So for that, I would propose increasing pathways and bicycle paths so the citizens of Calgary can get more active and get where they need to go using more sustainable methods such as walking or riding a bike or scootering. And not only would this help combat the effects of climate change, like the amount of carbon dioxide that is released into the air, but it would also help Calgarians get health care and create a better lifestyle for them. So those are my 3 points. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Aren't they great? So the mayors would be happy to take questions now.
Do you already have political aspirations?
Yeah, I think I've always dreamed of becoming a politician because, first of all, being Indian, you don't really see that many people who look like you in Canadian politics, and I've always wanted to make a difference, and I want other Indian kids to know that you can do anything everybody else does. So that's why I want to be a politician. Also because I'm a really talkative and opinionated person, that I feel that politician is probably the best choice for me. I also would like to get into doing this. I think it's a really good opportunity to voice your opinions and to just make change, because ultimately that's what we need to do. We just need to be kind, we need to treat others with kindness, and I think that I can really make people understand that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all just need to come together. And yeah, so I'd like to make that change.
What have you guys learned so far today?
There's a lot of meetings, I think. Obviously the mayor explained that he doesn't exactly run the city. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh yeah, the mayor must be just making decisions left and right, but it's obviously not like that. It takes a lot of people to run the city, and I think that's the biggest lesson I've taken away so far.
I definitely would have to agree. I didn't realize as well how many different people and how many jobs go into running a city, and it's very important to learn that it's not just the mayor. A lot of people are involved with it. So and I mean, we're still learning more today, so I'm very excited to see what else we see.
How do you think the city can better listen to younger voices?
I think just having an open mind. I think sometimes the younger generations, we kind of get counted out a little bit because we're just portrayed as younger people. But I think that as we grow up, we have equal ideas to older people, and I think that our generation, with like social media and just having a bit of open minds, I think that we can really expand everybody's knowledge on opportunities.
Yeah, I would agree with Kennedy. Like, I think that a lot of young people are often left out of politics because our opinions are often dismissed because we're too young. But obviously, as young people, we're the future. We're going to be the ones living in the society. We're going to be the ones working. And so we obviously need to say. I think the way the city can listen better to us is kind of reaching out in forms of communication that teenagers use, like social media would be the biggest one, I think. I think there's a huge disconnect because with technology, there's obviously a large gap between older generations and younger generations. I think to bridge that gap, you need to use all the utilities that you have to kind of let young people know that you deserve to be heard too.
Fabulous. Anyone else? Well, thank you, mayors. Thank you, yours worships. Great to see you. They got to go do meetings. So I'm going to let them exit and then make a very special announcement with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.